All right, welcome back to the trade recap. Unfortunately, the red streak does continue, but let's get right into the trades we took today. So, coming market open, pre-market, what I saw was we had this hourly SMT going on. Where am I? Well, it's not gonna show anymore because freaking it got invalidated. But pretty much, for our first trade, we had hourly bullish SMT going on, and we tapped into this 1 hour fair value gap and formed the rejection block off of this hourly for value gap with is sweeping out these lows, rejecting the 1 hour and wicking off of it. So what I did was I took my gone box and took it to find EQ of this rejection block. And that was my first trade of the day right here. And it was a good setup. The only thing I did not like about it was how close it was to market open. Obviously, it formed pre-market, so it obviously does give it the chance to kind of get tapped into close to market open. And the reason why I'd say it's not the most ideal, being it so close to market open, is the fact that at 9:30 there's a lot of manipulation, and I got entered at like 9:36 or 9:38. Sorry, 9:37. So that's still really close to the manipulation of market open, and ultimately I got stopped out. It happens. And then for our second trade, we had these 5 minute lows get swept. Where am I? These 5 minute lows get swept, and it created a 5 minute bullish SMT because we swept. Where am I? We swept this low right here on NQ, but on ES, we did in fact fail to sweep this low, and that made our 5 minute bullish SMT. And then we rejected off of this 5 minute fair value gap that was untested and formed this 5 minute rejection block. So we have this right here, and we put our entry right here at 10 points, or at equilibrium of the rejection block with 10-point stop. And ultimately we get tapped in, and we go up 20 points. So I went, you see we go up 20 points. So I went break even. I was targeting 2-day open for this one. My initial target for today was previous session highs, or this morning's highs, but since I lost my first trade, I was just gonna kind of playing it conservatively. But ultimately, I was up 20 points. We swept out this first, or almost swept out this first round, but I was up 20 points, so I went break even, and ultimately got break even on the trade. And price ended up not targeting, but reaching further into this higher time frame 1 hour for value gap. And in my opinion, there was ultimately no reason for it to do that because one, we had this 5 minute SMT form, we had 5 minute rejection block, and we had it respect and wick off of a unmitigated 5 minute fair value gap. So in my head, I really thought this was going to be the bottom, and it pretty much was the bottom. As we can see from here, after it ends up stopping me break even and going a little bit lower, then it just ultimately rips up, and it didn't give any kind of opportunity for a 5 minute entry. Um, and ultimately just didn't have a chance to get into this to target the high. And then after 10 a.m. open, I left one more trade open to see if it would get hit, and it was this 1 hour rejection block that formed at the 10 a.m., which is this one. He swept out this previous low, this previous low, and this previous low, and ultimately wicked off this 1 hour for rally gap. So I just took EQ of it because that's what the wick model follows. But ultimately just never got entered. You can see we just kind of what's going on. You can see it just doesn't really come back down into there and just chops up by these highs. And then by 11 a.m. I just called it a day because I didn't get entered into anything. And that wrapped up my trading day. I ended up losing just under $1,700. But if you look at it like this, it was only a $86 loss on a 50K account. It's just multiplied by 19 accounts because that's how many accounts I copy trade. So those small losses um, turn into a bigger number because it's copy traded across so many accounts. Um, but I'm not really stressed about it. I'm not really worried about it because I know my model is like a 75% win rate. So obviously I'm bound to lose a couple trades, you know? That's the reality of trading. You're going to lose some here and there because no model is 100%. But I know once I get into a trade and I hit, I will ultimately um make back my losses because of how the risk to reward works. So without a doubt, that is going to wrap up this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, and subscribe if you learned something new. Comment it down below so I could see what you learned, or if you have any questions, drop them down below so I can make a video on your questions. But I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.